This one, Phoenix Calida is not well, but is sitting in to help out with the gosh darn program. And while I do have Phoenix Calida here before she goes and runs an errand of sorts, we do need Phoenix Calida speaking on this story, because you already know the story, apparently.
Yes.
Yeah, so you probably don't even need to read it, or do you want the articles open anyway?
It can leave it open.
You want the articles open?
Sure.
Okay, because it's Rebekah Charleston, all right, and I actually already have this linked. I made the web post already, and then I'll just edit the web post and add in the podcast with it.
Okay.
And so this is off Dallas News, Dallas Morning News, and it's it's one of those websites that loads a whole lot of fucking flashy bullshit. Oh, that's outstanding. That is fucking great. All that fucking flash they're loading. Yeah, like they're loading so fucking much that like you can't fucking see the damn article. All right.
That's fun.
So a Texas anti-sex trafficking activist sues Nevada to end legalified prostitutionalizing.
Yes.
All right. And this article's up by Ryan Sanders, a contributor to the DallasNews.com.
Yeah.
All right. So you're familiar with this. This individual's name is Rebekah Charleston, and Rebekah Charleston contends that Nevada's legal brothels are in violation of federal law preventing interstate commerce in prostitution.
God damn it. Yep.
And that the market created by those brothels contributes to illegal sex trafficking. It names the state of Nevada, its legislature and government, Steve Sisolak, as defendants. Now, you're already familiar with this story.
Yes.
Has she prevented verifiable evidence that people are being rape trafficked, like,
No.
because of these brothels?
No.
But she hasn't presented verifiable evidence, but she has presented Exhibit A.
No.
Exhibit B.
No.
Exhibit C, she's full of shit.
That one, yeah. She brings up that one a lot.
Oh. All right. So what have you seen?
I'm trying to find the thread now. Somebody linked an article. So apparently, she says she was trafficked. She says that basically she was in an abusive relationship and some guy started pimping her out when she was a teenager. I want to say she said she started when she was like 14, stayed with him, and was basically trafficked throughout the country, including in these brothels in Nevada. But nobody who has ever worked in Nevada knows her. Like the sex workers in these brothels, they don't know her. So they're like, how the fuck? And she said she was trafficked for years in these brothels. In particular, that guy who just died recently. What the fuck was his name?
Yeah.
I can't remember his name now. He ran a brothel out there, the Bunny Ranch. And,
the fucking MTV, the one that was running for Congress and fucking won after being dead.
Yes.
Shit, fucking Christ.
Yeah. In particular, she said she was in his brothels, but no one who works there knows her. So there's a bunch of sex workers on Twitter right now who are like, how come we don't know this person who says that she isn't why don't we know this person who was allegedly trafficked there for years? You think you would know them, right? And then also, apparently, she's never mentioned Nevada before now. Like, she's been claiming she was trafficked all over for a long time. But now, all of a sudden, like, the story evolved to include Nevada, specifically for this legislation, which, of course, is being supported by all the aunties, naturally. So, yeah, let me just try to find... I'm just trying to find this tweet. Somebody linked an article about her, which, of course, I can't find now.
Ah, shit.
As it tends to go. I don't know if you want to pause it for a second, or... Oh, no, because we have the video on.
Yeah, and this video application will not let you pause.
That's booty.
I'll stitch them together, so I'll just stop it.
Okay. Yeah?
Wait a second, I think I messed up. Okay. There we go. And unpaused, and the video's back going, and I'll just have to drop them in the other application and just mash them together into one video.
Sorry, y'all. I thought it was going to be easier to find this article. Oh, excuse me. So this is from the Nevada Brothel Association. So they have an article about Rebekah, is that her first name?
Yeah,
Rebekah Charleston.
Yeah.
So Rebekah Charleston, that's not even her legal name.
Okay.
Her actual name is Rebekah Dean, and she was in prison in 2006 for tax evasion and money laundering. Yeah, there's a lot going on with this story. She also goes by Nicole Wilson sometimes. All right, so she was in... I'm just going to read this off the article. In an interview with Fort Worth magazine, Charleston/Dean/Wilson says by the time she was 16, she was a drug abuser and had dropped out of high school. She claims her parents had then had her institutionalized in a private Texas Christian school where she, quote, did manual labor in the fields, cleaned churches, and ate old donated food with bugs in it. Yeah, a lot is going on here. She eventually ran away and moved into a 2-bedroom apartment with a half a dozen quote-unquote low-level drug dealers and started stealing drugs and using herself. Because you know how all the drug dealers live together in one apartment.
And they just let someone, like, apparently they don't count their inventory.
Yeah.
Like, fuck, it just...
It disappeared.
Yeah, because, like, that's quite literally how you buy food. Like, that's your job if you're a dealer.
I just want to know, I've never seen 6 drug dealers in one apartment living, like permanently living in one apartment.
Maybe proletariat drug dealers that don't really make as much. Like, we need to raise the drug dealer minimum wage to a living wage.
Should. So this is like her whole background story. This is what she's saying. She was stealing drugs, using drugs. Around the same time, she said she also began stripping and, quote, sitting on 50-year-old men's laps and accepting shots of Hennessy. One night at the age of 17, she and her friends were looking for a man in a strip club parking lot when she claimed she met the guy who later became her boyfriend and beat and trafficked her for 10 years. So 10 years she was trafficked throughout the country. She says, he took me from a street-walking, drug-using $50 prostitute to a high-class call girl. Because that's how it works. You start with your drug addiction first, and then you become high-class later. Right?
You pull yourself up by your...
Hoe shoes, nigga.
Red bottoms? Should I even be joking about this? I probably shouldn't be joking about this one.
I mean, it's just so, like... Just like, this is like that shit where people want to believe something so bad you can give them any line of bullshit. So she ran away from some institution as a minor. Nobody found her. Nobody knew where she was. Started living with a bunch of drug dealers who all lived together for some fucking reason, was stealing their drugs, and then became a stripper, and then became a high-end call girl with a pimp? What? All right.
And also there's the perfect victim thing.
Oh, yeah.
Because is this not a blonde white woman?
It is a blonde white woman, yes.
Yeah. That's a factor.
Yeah. And now she's claiming that she was a brainwashed victim of sex trafficking in Dallas. The public record related to her arrest and conviction paints a very different story, including one of a willing, conniving, and deceitful accomplice. On March 9th, 2006, a federal grand jury issued 2 indictments against her for bank fraud. And this is from that, I guess, the affidavit? On or about March 8th, 2001, Dean devised and intended to devise a scheme to defraud Chase Manhattan Bank to obtain money, funds, and credits owned under the control of Chase Manhattan Bank by means of false and fraudulent pretenses, representations, or promises. God, I hate legalese.
Yeah.
So in plain English, what she did was open a checking account using a fake ID and a false social security number under the name of Nicole Wilson, and made deposits and withdrawals that resulted in an overdraft of $5,000.
Fuck.
Right. So the bank discovered she'd moved, had disconnected her phone, and had used a fake ID to open up the account. On March 10th, 2006, an arrest warrant was issued for her. It was forwarded to the Las Vegas office of the IRS on March 13th, 2006, and she appears to have been picked up and reported at her $600,000 home in Vegas 2 days later.
She had a $600,000 house?
Well, that's where she was staying. I don't know if it was hers.
Oh.
But it was a $600,000 house. That's where she was staying. Which I guess is a step up from living with 6 drug dealers in a 2-bedroom apartment.
That's, Jesus Christ. Very smart. Very Jay-Z.
On August 29th, 2006, the United States attorney also charged her with charged her and another woman, Tina Bennett, with a conspiracy to commit tax evasion. Bennett and Dean were employed in the adult entertainment business as exotic dancers and paid escorts. Bennett and Dean, either together or separately or using real names or an alias, opened numerous bank accounts to deposit proceeds of their employment. During the calendar year of 2004, Bennett and Dean deposited $680,000 into these accounts with the intent to share the money between themselves. Bennett and Dean thereafter attempted to conceal this income and failed to file tax returns with the IRS. That does not sound like somebody who's being trafficked. You had to, because like, and this is the thing, I guess maybe people don't know because they're not familiar with it. If you're being trafficked the way she's describing it, this is, you're not going to have access to a bank account because your pimp is going to take your money, right?
Yeah, like, so ask the women that were employed under Tariq Nasheed when he was a pimp. Did he let them have bank accounts?
Right. So she has a cell phone. She's able to move out of state. She has a bank account. She just has $600,000. This isn't exactly screaming the whole story she's trying to spin about he was beating me and I was taking drugs and he was pimping me out and I was being trafficked. This person has a lot of agency for somebody who's being trafficked.
She's being trafficked. Mm-hmm. That's the thing, like, because you said she was going like from state to state, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but those were road trips. She was on the ground driving. She was in traffic. She was being trafficked. There were red lights and everything. Fucking yield signs. Bunch of bullshit. Oh, yeah. Speed traps.
Yeah.
Crosswalks with people crossing them. What the fuck?
Right. It's horrible.
Yeah. Okay, so how about you stop hating? Jesus Christ. So, what is it now?
According to CBS 11, around the same time, Charleston was accused of being in an illegal prostitution ring and, quote, tried to use some of the money to go legit with a pizza restaurant called Grab a Slice. So yeah, I don't know, there's a lot happening.
This past election cycle ruined the word pizza. Like that, to be a person in media say pizza, it's like don't say gate.
Right. Charleston was eventually sentenced to 13 months in a federal correctional institution in Fort Worth, Texas, and appears to have been released February 20th, 2007 after gaining credit for time served. After getting out of jail, she says she emailed her trafficker saying she was going to leave and he never wrote back.
Wait, email?
Yes.
What? Dear person that has me in captivity, or whoever else it may concern, I shall no longer be in captivity.
Yeah.
Kanye West told me that I don't have to be a slave.
So, yeah, I don't fucking like. So she emailed her pimp and said, I'm not coming back. And he never responded because he's on top of shit.
Or because the future was female and he saw that and said, you know what? I'm with her if she should so consent to it.
Right.
That's how pimps are these days.
That's what happened.
Progressive pimping, homie. All right.
However, according to the IRS, Charleston still has almost $250,000 worth of liens against her for unpaid taxes. No one knows if what Charleston is claiming happened during her 10 years working as a sex worker in Dallas happened the way she's claiming or not. By the way, oh yeah, this all happened in Texas, by the way, before Nevada. Now she's saying oh yeah, I was in Nevada too. It started off just being Texas. Now she was in Nevada. Indeed, all the abuse and brainwashing she now maintains she suffered took place in Texas between 1997 and 2007. And in all that time, until after 2018, somehow the claim that her alleged trafficker sent her to work at the Bunny Ranch never came up. Yeah. So 10 years in Texas, and now saying, oh, by the way, he sent me to Nevada where I had $600,000 and a cell phone and an email, but I was being trafficked and not allowed to leave.
Like, this sounds like a failed schemer that is now stepping on the backs of sex workers to fucking pay off a debt.
Oh, yeah. Fuck yeah. Because there's been a lot of, like, legislation they're trying to pass to ban the brothels in Nevada. And so, of course, she is, like, front and center on this as being the spokesperson now because, you know, all the fucking, the fucking rad femmes and the fucking conservative evangelicals, like, they all want to shut down the brothels and they're uniting over this and she gets to be the face of it. I'm sure she's getting paid somewhere.
Mean-ass grifting.
And in fact, it wasn't until the No Little Girl, you saw that, did you see that show on Twitter? If y'all didn't see it, they were doing, like, no little girl dreams of becoming a prostituted woman type of shit. And it wasn't until after the No Little Girl movement took off that all of a sudden she said, oh yeah, by the way, he made me work in Nevada too. Because the No Little Girl movement was done to do the brothel ban in Lyon County. And that's where allegedly she worked at this brothel where no one remembers her being. Like, not even working there. People don't remember her working there, but like, especially as a trafficked person.
Wait, also the Bunny Ranch was the one that was on television, right?
Yeah.
All right, now, this is where it's fucked up because we got to go into what some people call lookism and shit like that. But there is a certain, how do we say, phenotype of white woman that would be of the sort of price range of the customers, clients that are going to be at the Bunny Ranch. A certain phenotype of white woman. And she's not. Is this where I get to say that ain't it?
That ain't it.
That ain't it. I seen her look, and that ain't it. That's what the hip kids say. That's how you know this is one of those cool podcasts that you really like, because we say fleeky things like that ain't it. And yeah, I seen a picture. Also, she has tattoos. And like, wouldn't the sort of rich men that go to a place like the Bunny Ranch, wouldn't they see tattoos as like trashy beneath them?
Some of them, maybe. It probably depends on the...
I'm assuming. I don't know a lot of much. But I do know that ain't it.
Yeah, so that's... Yeah, so she has yet to provide any sort of evidence that she ever worked there, obviously, because we don't think she did. And all the sex workers who have worked there, and there's a lot of them on Twitter who are very public about having worked at the Bunny Ranch, don't know her. So, yeah. It's fun, right?
Fucking Christ.
So yeah, allegedly she was trafficked for 10 years in Texas, in Nevada, had a pimp controlling her despite... Y'all probably don't remember Stella Mar, but this is like some Stella Mar shit again.
Wait a second, the article, who's the writer? We got to give it up to the journalist.
It was...
And also I need you to send the link.
Yes. It was... Oh, it's just by the staff, I guess.
Oh, doesn't have the...
I don't think... Let me scroll down to the bottom.
Maybe a journalist crew of sorts.
Mr. Muth. It doesn't have his first name.
Okay.
It just says at the bottom, Mr. Muth is a consulting advisor to the Nevada Brothel Association.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah, but thank fuck for the journalism, folks.
Yeah.
And over here at the Wine Cellar, we're not really journalists. We're independent pundits. All right, and this segment is definitely going out public for free. It's responsible to put this segment out, but the rest of the full episode, fully produced and mixed down, will be behind the patreon.com/Wine Cellar Media Fund wall only. And for folks that just want to drop a couple nickels in the old offering plate that we pass around, that's paypal.me/Phoenix and William. Patreon.com/Wine Cellar Media Fund, paypal.me/Phoenix and William. Thank you, motherfuckers, including the homie that sent over something in the PayPal, and they can leave a note when they do that, and they said for the snowblower fund, because I've posted some pictures of fucking the driveway that I have to shovel when the blizzard hits, or when we get another damn polar vortex because the climate change hoax.
Yes.
And we've riffed about that before. Look, okay, we're gonna tangent and close this segment out, but fucking remember, folks, the polar vortex is something that is happening on increasing terms. It used to be like every decade and a half, every decade. Now it's like every half decade. And it looks like it might become an every year thing within the next 2 to 3 years.
Yeah.
And that is because of all the ice breaking off of all the Arctic ice chunks breaking off, glaciers, that's it. All the glaciers breaking off and getting into the ocean and making that area of water colder than it once was because the ice is now spread out.
Right.
And now the polar vortex is actually breaking because it's too fucking big. And then what we're getting is a jet stream from that, which is coming down. I don't know where else it hits, but I know goddamn well it hits mid-America.
It does hit the Midwest.
It fucks shit up. And that's why I say, man, we could do what we can with the climate change shit, but we are definitely past the point of no return.
Yeah.
Like, we're not going to rebuild those glaciers in the same amount of time that it took to melt them. All right. WineCellarMedia.com. Please be as safe as possible wherever you are.